Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, what I'm going to be looking into is the second season of Waking Titan. So all that has happened since Atlas Rises dropped, and summing it all up into one big fat chunky video. Now, I'm making this video for those who can't be bothered to watch 3 different videos, all on each bit of news, and also some new info has come out recently regarding Atlas passes, where they have been received and so on. So with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. So on the 28th of December 2017, a command on the Waking Titan website was updated. Now, typing "who is" into the console on Waking Titan yielded a new text box never seen before, saying hashtag what is 1.5. Now, we still don't know if this means update 1.5. This does seem to be the most significant theory, but of course the ARG is still in early days, so it may have more use later on. However, 1.5 is basically the main talk of this ARG. A lot of people assume 1.5 means we are getting update 1.5. We're skipping 1.4 because this update will be so significant. Now, as well as this command updating, we also received a new glyph at the bottom of Waking Titan. And when going to answer this glyph, clicking on a little globe right underneath it led us to a Google Drive document with photos of Atlas passes in mirrors. Now, we knew that this was from a step from last season's Waking Titan, whereby a calibration requirement was for users to take a photo of the Atlas logo in an infinity mirror, where it basically looks like it's going on forever. Now, the photos themselves weren't really any cause for concern. We knew that this was, again, a calibration thing, but what was important was the names of these photos, and this is because they were listed with letters and numbers, usually only 2 digits, and when people combined these names together, played around with them a little bit, they actually found a string of hex code, which is programming language, and when translated into English, it gave us the word moira, like a fucking pirate or something, but then this was then jumbled up to naturally form the word mirror. So again, mirror is a big point of this season's Waking Titan. This and 1.5, as well as Phoenix, which I'll touch on soon, are very significant words. The most popular theory right about now, though, is that mirrors allow us to see ourselves. We obviously looking a mirror to see our reflection, so this word may be pointing towards 1.5 or a general new update for No Man's Sky, bringing in player models and better overall multiplayer in general. Again, if you want an in-depth speculation video on this, there will be multiple videos in the description because I can't fit them into this video. There's just way too much to fucking talk about. Now, also, when clicking on the 10th glyph, there was a background image. It was a bit kind of distorted. It looked a bit weird, and it showed a letter from a bloke called Gale. Now, we don't know who Gale is. We still don't know, but what is important that on this little photo, 10,000 promised Atlas passes would be shipped soon. Now, bearing in mind, this was quite a while ago now. Obviously, Atlas passes have now been shipped, but we still don't know who the fuck Gale is. And on the 17th of January, the first physical Atlas version 4 passes were delivered to an individual in Quebec. Now, Quebec is in Canada. It's also the location of Allison Smith, which is the company that specializes in the ARG, the creators of Waking Titan. Since then, obviously, a lot more passes have been received, and on these passes, there are a multitude of really interesting things which we need to look into. Now, first of all, on the right-hand side of the pass, we have a thing called a designation, which is essentially a number and then a letter. We knew what our designation was once we came towards the end of Waking Titan before Atlas Rises dropped. They are subject to change, and to be honest, we don't really know what they mean. We do know, though, that there are loads of designations that have currently not been received. They may tie into it somehow, but as of right now, we can guess that there's some kind of grouping method, but don't overly mean a lot, at least right now. Now, below this designation is also a string of hex code, once again, which when translated reveals the word Phoenix. Now, this is the exact same on every pass that has currently been received, so no other hex has currently been reported on. We only have Phoenix on every single pass received. Phoenix is a word which right about now has no real relevance. It could be another mirror or another 1.5, and there are some booky theories surrounding its meaning, specifically how a phoenix rises from the ashes, and No Man's Sky can basically do the same but in a more metaphorical way, as in from the shitty launch. People are interpreting this to be a rebirth of No Man's Sky, a relaunch because 1.5 will be so big, but again, this is all complete speculation. And that goes really for the rest of the passes. The back of the pass contains a CSD number that you shouldn't share. This is a unique code specifically for you. And there is also a number out of 10,000. Now, I don't have to repeat that we still don't know the significance, but it's likely more will develop when Waking Titan kicks off once again. As of today, the USA, Canada, UK, and other European countries like Belgium, France, and Germany have received passes. Mine hasn't come still, for fuck's sake, but there still are reports of some being received in Canada, which was the first location, so just stay patient. Now, if you're lucky enough to receive an Atlas Pass, please fill out the appropriate form. There will be a link to that in the description, and do not show your CSD ID on the back. That is very, very important, but if you have received one, then congratulations, put it in a frame or something, just don't fucking laminate it because that will destroy it. So on the 20th of January, the status command on Waking Titan began to update, slowly revealing numbers that eventually turned into a phone number. Now, this phone number was then called by the community, and doing so played kind of distorted noises that when converted using something called SSTV, which basically turns white noise into a photo, don't know how it works, revealed a list of measurements and locations in 2 separate photos. So naturally, the super talented community went to work ordering and playing around with the words until somehow, and I really don't know how people are clever enough to do this, they discovered 4 words reading cafe, bene, 19 and sat. Now, these 4 words translated into something called a live drop location. This was an activity seen before with Waking Titan when 1.3 had not dropped. It essentially meant that a community member had to drive to a real life location, in this case the cafe, at 19 o'clock, as in 7 PM on a Saturday, to meet an NPC from the ARG. Now, after some delay, a couple car crashes, shit like that, a community member finally met the NPC at the live drop, exchanged some weird conversation about getting enough sleep, and received a memo that contained lots and lots of information. Now, I won't read this memo out word for word because there's quite a lot to it, and to be honest, a lot of it is just sort of useless, but a link to the original photo will be in the description if you want to read it in detail. The memo talks about 2 important things. The first being the next phase of Waking Titan, with users receiving their Atlas passes, and an emphasis on the motif of sleep, which eventually led to us discovering the password for the 10th glyph being REM sleep. Now, the concept of sleep popped up loads in this live drop, with the NPC asking if the community member was getting enough sleep, and of course on the memo itself saying we need to get sleep, which is actually underlined as well, and there's loads of hints to do with being well rested for the next phase. Sleep seems to be a big ass importance right about now. So in basic terms, we're currently on a break. Once all of the Atlas passes have been sent, we will likely begin the next phase. Now, getting enough sleep seems to imply that the next phase may be time consuming and involve late live streams, but for a more in-depth look at the meaning behind this word, another video again will be in the description. Now, once the 10th glyph was finally solved with the password REM sleep, typing status once again into the console on Waking Titan gave a link to a survey. Now, this survey is mainly about Waking Titan itself, how it can be improved, our favorite tasks, things like that. But at the very, very end of the survey, it asks you to enter an answer, simple as very, very ambiguous. Now, put in the glyph password REM sleep into the box allows you to then submit an email to potentially receive items from a lab 319. Now, the video in the description goes into more detail with Lab 319 and Mirror and shit like that, because the speculation is just way too much to squeeze into this video. And yeah, that is about it. That is essentially everything which has happened so far with this season of Waking Titan. We know that a new phase will be starting soon, most likely when the Atlas passes are received. Right about now though, we can only relax. Just take it easy, follow the instructions, get sleep, just take a fucking break from No Man's Sky, and before you know it, we'll be back again. So that is the end of the video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.